Good morning. My name is Manny Sarmiento. I'm here at Miami's Community Newspapers. I'm the president, CEO and founder of the Doral Chamber of Commerce, along with Carmen Lopez, our VP, who is in our audience today. Hi, Carmen. You are watching us on Facebook Live at Miami's Community Newspapers. I want to start by thanking the Miller family, Michael Miller, Grant Miller, the rest of the family, and also especially Tommy, which is our producer. He's in the background, so you'll see him on the Marlin Show, hosted here at Miami's Community Newspapers. Today we have John Pena. He is a co-founder of 2 Week Websites. It's an exciting new project that has come about by need. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to give you some great information about web design. The issues that we have found since 2008 that we opened the chamber is so many businesses that end up without websites or pay extravagant amounts of money and spent a long time waiting to get a website built. But as we're going to discover today, that's no longer necessary. The long wait and the long expenses are no longer necessary. So let's start off by greeting our guest here. John, how did you get you're a web designer? That's what we're talking about here today. How did you get into that? At what age? How old are you now? Because you look like you're 17.
I'm actually 22 now.
You just 2 days ago, right? 3 days.
3 days ago. Yeah, more or less.
22 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so how'd you get into this?
All right. Well, it started back in my high school years. So as a freshman, I learned HTML, hypertext markup language.
Hypertext what?
Markup language.
Don't worry, we're gonna untechnify this stuff, okay? So that you're gonna understand. My whole point today is to get people to learn what they need to do, what the realities are of web design, and how to get a website built for them without the expense and the time and the trouble and headaches. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem.
So you started HTML?
Yeah, I started HTML. It was a simple, Dreamweaver, just get to it, make a website, all that stuff. After high school, I went straight into a coding boot camp where I learned other coding languages because I realized, hey, this is my field. I wanted to start building websites, and because I noticed, there aren't too many good websites out there.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said Dreamweaver. Did you ever use front page?
Sometimes. It was simple applications at first.
We still have one. I think we still have one page on front page. Believe it or not, it was a front page and Dreamweavers are web building programs.
Yeah.
Dreamweavers from Adobe. Front page was from I think Microsoft.
Yeah.
They no longer have that product, but. So you mentioned HTML. I'm in my notes, Java, CSS. Okay, what are these things?
They're basically website tools to create a website.
Do I need to know that to build a website?
Well, the starter languages like HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Remember when I say I'm talking about as if I was the audience. Okay, so I know what that is, but the audience doesn't know what that is. So does the audience need to know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ruby, and all these?
Yes. Well, not Ruby, no. Just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I think.
But that's if you're building a website.
Yes, that's if you're building a website.
Okay. So if I'm getting a website built by you and I know nothing about web development, I don't need to know this stuff, right?
Well, you can use a different tool to build a website, but these 3 languages are like for starters.
Okay.
For beginners to build a website.
Okay. So what are some of the options? And I'm sorry. So you graduated and you started building independent. I know you and I have worked together. You worked with us at the chamber. Yeah. And I've seen much of websites you built, and there's a lot of demos on 2weekwebsites.net. There's a website, 2weekwebsites.net. You can see some of the demos that John has built. I built also. So you graduated and you started doing web design independently. That's great. Okay. And now you have a new project called 2 Week Websites.
Yes.
2weekwebsites.net. We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But okay, new business. They definitely need a website. We don't have to talk about that. If you don't know that by now, that's you have to have a website, certain other things you need to have. What are the options for a new business to build a website? Give me the free options, the paid options, the development options. From the simple websites, free websites, to the paid and expensive websites. What are the options?
All right. Well, let's start with the low pay first. So for very low pay. The options are like, free templates like Wix and such, but they don't provide enough like SEO and such and enough, content to build your website.
I'm an anti-Wixer. You know that, right?
Anti-Wixer.
I'm an anti-Wixer. Okay. People don't like to hear that, but
I even tried it. It's not as great. I don't like it.
I understand there's a lot of issues. Well, not understand. I know there's a lot of issues with really customizing a website, and SEO is a big one, right?
Yeah, SEO.
Okay,
I was going to get to that.
We're going to talk about SEO in a few minutes. So Wix. What else? I guess GoDaddy. You can build your website right on GoDaddy.
Yeah, I tried that too, and not that good.
Okay, so the option left is?
The option left is WordPress. I looked into that a lot, and it's pretty much great. It's good for business. It has a lot of plugins to implement SEO, and it really runs a lot of traffic in it.
It's interesting that you say WordPress, and you still hear a lot of people saying that WordPress is not good for web design. Well, I don't understand that. There's Fortune 500 companies that use it, right? Microsoft,
yes,
Target.
Yeah.
Okay. So to understand, or for the audience to understand this better, WordPress is a software, or what is it?
WordPress, it's a web design tool. It's built to make a website in like less than 2 hours. You get it right on the spot.
I've done that too.
Yeah.
I need a website. Okay, here it is.
Here it is.
Okay.
Here it is.
Because you plop up the theme.
Yes.
Right? And then you add content.
Yeah. Very customizable themes. Build here and there. Everything you need there.
And one of the things we discussed with 2weekwebsites.net is that the fact that that when let's say you go web development, you don't do extensive web development per se. I mean, only a client here or there. You have the project 2 Weeks website. The reason we built that was because of these issues, right? Taking a long time, lots of money, lots of cost.
There are web developers out there who do overcharge, and sometimes even for SEO, which is completely not necessary. It really is just like a big mistake if you say like.
What's the example we discussed?
What's the example we discussed?
My dry cleaners, right?
Yeah.
$5,000 later, 6 months, and still the website didn't work.
Well, there's this other guy that I met the other day. He was doing my windows at home. He actually was charged $1,200 as well, just for SEO alone. Just implementing it. And they were like going crazy, like.
So let's
not
talk.
that hard.
That's good. I'm glad you went into the SEO part of it. What is SEO?
SEO, search engine optimization. It's used to bring traffic into your website, and also it brings you into the Google rankings. So you're always like, whenever you type in, like, let's say my own personal site, Tech Pro Art, it's like you go in there first in the Google rankings if you type Tech Pro Art. If you go into Code MIA, it's like Code MIA, first in the rankings.
So it's great.
Doral Chamber, first in the rankings.
So it's not just important to build a website, it's important to have search engine optimization built into it. Now, how does WordPress simplify that?
WordPress has a plugin. You can use that certain plugin to implement SEO. And, sooner or later, if you type in more keywords, in the images, you type in some keywords about your company, and eventually you'll climb up the Google rankings.
Okay, good. And I understand it typically takes anywhere, for the new website, it takes anywhere between 6 months and 2 years to really get to the top.
Yes.
And you have to be optimized.
You have to be optimized.
Let me tell you, when you and I've had this discussion, one of the things that you see in these expensive web developers is that they don't build SEO into the site. You look at the title tags, the description tags, there's nothing there. But you mentioned all-in-one SEO, which is a plugin typically I use, or Yoast. All-in-one SEO, I find it a lot easier. It's a plugin. Well,
Yoast wasn't that good.
We should explain what a plugin is, right? A plugin adds functionality to your website, and they're built into WordPress. It's typically free, or for a few dollars, you get a plugin that does, for instance, for YouTube videos, a plugin for payment, a plugin for e-commerce, a plugin for SEO. So utilizing the SEO, then you built. Writing all-in-one SEO, it checks the website for you and tells you what issues
what you need to fix it, and what you need to like implement in order to get yourself on top of the Google rankings, or to fight your way up.
Now, all 2weekwebsites.net you don't charge a lot of money. You start basically with $100 a month, right?
Correct.
And you have a website built in 2 weeks or less. Why is that going to be better than a website where you pay $2,500 or $1,200? I think that's a really important. Take your time on this answer because that's really important. But people are paying a lot of money, so people are going to think, "Oh, with your product, 2-week websites, then what am I going to get? I'm going to get a junk website." And so, how does that work?
Well, you said the answer at first. Why do you need to pay this much money? First of all, everyone wants money in their pocket. Secondly, 2-week websites in the name itself. You get a website fast and also beautiful, designed perfectly for your website, for your company.
But you're cheating because
I'm not cheating.
The themes, you pop up a theme and it looks beautiful already. You just got to plug in the content, right?
Yeah, you just got to plug in the content.
Okay.
And you just upload.
Can't you charge me $2,500 for that?
Why would I?
I know exactly.
Why would I?
That's the good part in all this. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just you need to deliver the content and I'll upload it and then it's there. I mean, there's no mask behind this. It's clear as day.
That's one of the things I wanted to make sure we got to the audience today, that you don't have to spend. I mean, one of the biggest points today is you don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You don't have to have a lot of frustration to build a website, and you can get a really professional quality website built quickly.
Very quickly.
I think that's where your product. I'm considering you a tech startup, so I think you're going to have great success because you're getting rid of the problem. And the problem typically once again is so much money. People are charging so much money to developers, or they charge you cheap and then they do cheap work.
Oh, very cheap.
Okay,
yeah.
so you took the problem and you created the solution, which is a professionally built website done in 2 weeks or less with SEO, and it looks pretty. It looks nice, professional.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned that already. All right, so let's. I have my notes here on SEO. So some of the things that are important are, and this is important if you have a website. This is just getting the website built, and you've seen it too, right? When
yes.
They build a website and there's no SEO on it.
No SEO. Like if you hover over an image, sometimes like it just says image -1. Like what does that mean? What is that?
Well, explain the image. What you have to do with an image. Let's give people a tip. A real good tip. You can look at that camera.
Okay.
Let's give people a real tip on, for instance, images. What do you do with an image for SEO?
Well, let's say you own dry cleaners, dry-cleaners. Well, you type that in your images, like whenever you're saving the file. So
there's another tip right there. If you type in, typically when you save the file name, you've had near me. A lot of people type in dry cleaners near me in Google, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you change the image name. You said dry-cleaners-near-me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds crazy.
Yeah. And then
we've seen it work.
And don't forget, like you have to implement alt text. That WordPress has that option to implement alt text, and that's highly important. I can't stress enough about it.
Now, you know what's happening with the alt text, and we had the plugin for ADA compliance.
Yeah.
In ADA compliance, that alt text is what makes it possible for a visually impaired person, when they mouse over, the alt text appears.
Yeah.
And that's enhanced with the plugins. We probably in another show we can talk about ADA compliance on websites, but people are getting sued left and right by, I call them attorney trolls. They're going around finding websites that have no ADA compliance, and then they sue you. And
it's not good.
You have to get if you're a corporation, you have to get an attorney to defend you, so it costs you a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you had to plug in right then and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's add to that. You got a beautiful, professional design website, fast, inexpensive, with SEO, and it has ADA compliance.
Correct.
For $99 a month. Okay. What's wrong with this picture? Okay. Well, let's keep talking here. Okay.
Nothing wrong to me.
Oh, by the way, one thing we can tell the audience is that when you search Google, images are indexed.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so a lot of times say I want to model a JG17 microphone, and I'm not sure if it was that's the one that I'm looking for. I'll type in microphone JG17, and I'll go to the images tab and pop up the image. Then I click on the image; it takes me to the website. So a lot of people don't realize that images have to be optimized. And you mentioned the alt tag, which is important too. What about URL names, your website name?
I think that's very important.
I'm asking these. I know.
Yeah.
I know that you know that I know about web designs because I teach WordPress. But it's important for the audience to understand the name, the domain name. So let's say I'm an attorney, John J. Smith Esquire.com.
Yeah.
That would be wrong, right?
Esquire?
Esquire, it's an attorney. That's
okay.
The term for it. So what would you would name it something like immigration attorney Miami.com.
Correct.
Okay. And so that would give you a heads up. I consider SEO, and I teach SEO also. So, I consider SEO a scoring system. If you do something right, you get a point. It doesn't really work that way, but you do something right, you get a point, right? Like you got the image name, change the image name.
Point.
Image alt tag, point. Right?
Point.
The URL, the name, immigration attorney Miami.com. It's not available, by the way. Okay, that's a point. The additional pages, like the about page. Web developers, those expensive ones, will name the about page about.php
or
about us.
Right? Yeah, like that.
So you would name it something like about dash immigration dash attorney.
Yeah, you name it after the attorney's the name of their domain.
Yes. Domain or whatever function your business does.
Or like lawyer or attorney or those keywords. Bind it in there.
Okay. I have something I do. I'll never use the word home on the website, on the menu. I'll use a keyword. Because you can also use something called the attribute. Google reads the menu. That's an important part. And people are using home. That's like a wasted word. That's like I'm losing 1 point, right?
Yeah, I never use home either. I mean, home seems like, first of all, too common for me, and I feel like it's like I know I'm on the home page. It's already Thursday.
Well, that's what I tell people when I'm teaching. Okay, the on the menu on the top of the page, the item on the left-hand side, far left. What does that lead to?
The home page.
The home page. And your logo. What's that lead to?
The home page.
What did you do before you uploaded the logo?
Say that again.
What did you do before you uploaded the logo to the website?
Oh,
you changed the font name.
Okay.
All right. So now this is a lot of technical. It's not really technical. We brought it down, I think, right?
Simplicity. Okay? Yeah.
So we want you to understand. Any guests that I bring to this show or anything else, any other shows, I try to simplify things so that we bring information to the audience. So let's see. So we decided most web developers don't use SEO. You end up with an expensive website with no SEO. Okay.
Or they overly charge for it, which is not necessary at all.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit more about your new company, new tech. I like to call it a tech startup. Okay. I mean, we're not Silicon Valley, but Miami's becoming the next Silicon Valley, right? So 2 week website. We have a lot of web development schools. We have, of course, Emerge Americas here in South Florida. Mayor Francis Suarez is really bringing tech in. And a lot of tech companies are moving to South Florida, to Miami.
Yeah.
So good. We're becoming, so you are a tech startup, okay, from now on. Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
So 2weekwebsites.net. And it says on the website, we create a professionally designed SEO optimized website for you in 2 weeks or less for as little as $99 a month. There's a lot of promises. Can you really fulfill those promises?
Yeah. All of it.
And I had a joke on here. I said, come on, man. Okay. You're going I know you like that one.
I love it.
Come on, man. Really?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. $99? Come on. It's $99 per month.
Yes.
No contracts, right? No contracts, right?
No.
And right now you're not charging a startup fee. So, I mean, it's kind of what I want to reiterate here is that a lot of people are not going to believe you. $99. I get a website for $99.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And SEO included and fully optimized.
Okay. And you and I both know that it's possible.
Yeah, of course.
It's possible because of technology. WordPress makes it possible. You install WordPress, you already have something pretty with WordPress once you install it. Okay. So where are you going to lead from this? I mean, you have 3 products that I saw on the website, 2-week websites on net, right? So you have a simple product, you have the middle product, and you have a more advanced product. So how does that vary? How do the 3 different products vary?
Well, for the first one, it's like a starter. If you're getting your business started, you just need a website fast, a simple one pager, good to go. And it will still look really nice regardless. The second product involves, how do you say it? ADA and compliance.
ADA compliance.
Yeah. It involves some website changes and much more to that.
Certain number of changes per month is what you built into that.
Correct.
Depending on the level.
Correct.
That you get. We're talking that on $99. We're talking about the middle level, which is I'm not sure. I think it's called premium.
Yeah, premium.
You can see
business premium.
Business premium. Okay. So a couple changes a month, which is really all most businesses need.
Yeah.
Then you have the ADA compliance. And you're gonna focus on customer service.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
not necessarily phone, because you'd be crazy answering the phone all day long for
hello.
but chat support.
Yes.
Okay. And chat support, email support, and on the upper level, then you have phone support.
Yes.
And more templates to choose from. It's
more
ideal.
themes. Yeah, more themes.
More themes. Sorry.
And better for your business.
I think you got to get just going quickly, because a lot of people are going to try to copy what you're doing. Okay. Because it's, but you're solving the problems.
I am.
Which is what a business should do. A business should solve problems. And the problems was, and you learned that from what you saw with us at the chamber, is they just take too long to build a website. They make it confusing. Web developers speak web development language. That's why I had you simplify what HTML and CSS is.
Yeah, no problem.
So web development, they speak web development language. It takes too long, charges too much. They don't build SEO into it. And you get headaches working with these web developers, and you simplify the process. This is wonderful. This is really, really wonderful. All right. So let's talk a little bit more technical. All right. We talked about the platforms, the availability of different platforms. Okay, we talked about Microsoft, Sony Music, Target. These are Fortune 500 companies that use WordPress. If if they wanted to get started with building a website, what would they have to do with you? I mean, how do they get started?
Well, first they can go to my website, 2weekwebsites.net. They can go straight to they can look at the plans. They can look under where it says view demo. They look at the demo they need. They look at the themes that they need for their website, their company, and they can choose from, all these beautiful themes. And when they look, they're going to be like choosing that one. They go ahead and register for it. And
choose theme B. Okay, so they go onto the website, they choose the package.
They choose the package, and then they go straight to getting their website registered, and they deliver the content, and then they start the process. That's it.
Okay.
Immediately.
That sounds kind of easy.
Well, it is easy.
It's simplified the process. I'm really, really excited about this project. I think it's going to do good. So what about updates and stuff? What happens when because WordPress has updates? Is that taken care of? You do that?
Yeah, always.
Does the client have to do anything? What happens with WordPress if, like I said, WordPress has some kind of new update on a plugin? We did mention what a plugin is, right? Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So WordPress has an update, and we know they have them like once a month at least, right? So does your client have to worry about that? Does the user have to worry about that?
Never. No. That we do the updating. We ensure that it's backed up and everything, and we make
back up. Use that magic word, back up.
Yeah.
We just had that conversation outside here.
Yeah.
That's something that I see a lot of businesses don't do.
No,
is
never.
backing up. So
Never.
You back up the website. Any problem with losing the website or having issues?
No. We have revisions, and we're ready to in case something goes wrong, we're fine, and then we fix the problem and we move forward.
Let's say someone's going to do the website on their own, and they figured out WordPress. Excuse me. What backup tools do you use? How do you back up a website?
Well, the tool that I use is Updraft. Fairly easy. It has all the things you need or to see, and it goes straight to your Dropbox. So you look at your own Dropbox, you can see all the revisions you made, and you can even delete them, edit them, apply them, all that.
Well, yeah. Well,
Well, I'm getting a little technical there.
no, that's okay. No, that's not technical.
No,
Because thanks to you, I mean, thanks to you, we use Dropbox on everything. I mean,
Yeah.
Updraft, sorry, Updraft Plus, and it backs up the websites automatically.
Mhm.
I can give you a tip though,
Mhm.
and maybe you would have given a tip too, but I back up 4 copies once a week. So it backs up. Actually, I have 4 weeks worth of backups, and it backs up on my Dropbox or Drive. I use Dropbox personally for that purpose. So here's what happened to me. We lost a website. Crashed, and that happens whether you use WordPress or use any other functionality. You can lose a website. Okay, so lost the website, but I didn't realize for 2 weeks that I had lost the website, that it had crashed or whatever happened to it, and I only had a 1 week backup. So it was actually backing up the damaged website. So when I went to restore from Updraft or from Dropbox, I was restoring the old one. So as a good tip, I don't know if you do this or not, but as a good tip, back up 4 sessions once a week. And like I said, Updraft Plus, that's an excellent plugin, and it's free, right?
Yeah, it's free.
You've used the paid one because you can clone websites with Updraft and stuff.
Yeah, that's fun to use.
Good. All right, so let's say let's play devil's advocate here. Somebody wants to do their own website and they learn how to upload because WordPress gets actually installed on your server. Right?
Yes.
Whether it's GoDaddy, Ionis, Bluehost, and those are my 3 recommendations. I would start with Ionis. Ionis is which is formerly 1A and D1.
Used to be called, yeah.
GoDaddy's gotten so complicated on the back end. When you get started with a WordPress website, eventually sometimes you have to end up calling them because you just can't. With Ionis, it's boom, and your website's
Chat support ready.
Yeah, WordPress is up. They answer the phone.
They answer the phone
In English.
I actually called the last
in America.
time.
They answer the phone in America.
In America.
GoDaddy used to answer in America. It used to answer in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, I had my website down for like a good while, and well, not a good while, like the day, and I called them immediately. I'm like, hey, my website I thought it was hacked, but really it was just like I needed to update it. I'm like, oh, the chat support told me I needed just to update.
Now, typically they promise backup also, but I don't trust that. It happened to me a few years back before I learned about Updraft. I called 1&1 to get my website restored, and the backup that they had, they couldn't restore it. So don't trust your internet service provider for backups. All right, we're getting to the end of this. John, I definitely want to thank you for being here today. 2weekwebsites.net.
My pleasure.
I'll make sure that I spread that. I'll put that in the comments later on 2weekwebsites.net. Something always that Michael Miller always wants us to do. Okay, I want you, and for this one, you have to look directly at the camera.
Okay.
And I want you to talk to teenagers. Okay, and I want you to give them a word of motivational word, and I think you're motivating. I think what you did. At your age, you're 22.
I'm 22. Yeah,
22 now. Okay, and I met you when you were 18, right?
18. Yeah.
Okay. At 18, you were building websites. Okay, and I was able to give you people who needed websites built, and you were building them then. Now you got a new project, 2 weeks website, tech startup. Watch for it. Okay, when we go IPO, I want you there. Okay, so I want you to tell these teens. I want you to remember what it was like for you. And how you decided to go into web development, and I want you to tell these teens and these kids what they can actually do with their lives. I want you to motivate them. So I know it's a tough one, but
actually, I'm good at motivating.
Good. All right, so and keep it short because I know you can go on. So
okay.
All right, let's talk to these teens. Tell them what they can do.
All right. Well,
you're looking at this one, right? Okay,
yes.
Good. Okay.
All right. Well, when I was 18, I had a choice, really. It was either go to college, spend 4 years learning stuff that I don't want to know, or go a different path and take a path that was very alien to me, very confusing. So I decided, let me take that route because it's a risky route, but I took it anyways. Why? Because I wanted something for my own life. I wanted to make a name for myself. I wanted to prove that I can be, the best out there. And what I can say is, don't be afraid to take a risky route, because it can take you to places that you never even dared to dream of. It can make you better than what you are now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
And you have your successes. You have a tech startup, 2weekwebsites.net. You're also a black belt.
in Taekwondo. Yes.
Taekwondo. Awesome. I was there.
Yeah, you saw it.
I was there when you got your black belt. That
It
was
was
awesome. That was awesome.
Heartbreaking. Yeah.
So-
Well, not heartwarming. Sorry, I should say.
That I think that was a great message. Thank you. Yeah, never give up. You know, people
Believe in
push the
yourself.
university. People push the university system. It's not always necessary. There's a lot of technical, like web development and other tech. Tech is it right now, right? So a great message. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. I want to thank once again the Miller family, Michael Miller, Grant Miller. Keep up the good work. I love what you guys do here. I'll be back. We'll be back for our next show. My name is Manny Sarmiento, CEO, President, co-founder with our lovely Vice President Carmen Lopez, which is in our audience, as I mentioned. Thank you very, very much. God bless you. Have an amazing week.